All right, our next conversation is right up here, and I love it because it's, it's a woman and she wants to be in parliament. Yesterday we looked at how a lot of the social, cultural things may not make it possible for a woman to run for public office. But we know how we can do it to also make it possible. Mrs. Rose Austin Tinedu is joining us. She's contesting for the KEEA seats.
It's the Commander Edna Iguafu seat.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a location I know very, very well too.
Oh, I see.
Because we know that it's a hotbed.
It is.
Being contested by who are your opponents?
We have the incumbent,
Nana
Atuata, Dr. Nana Atuata, and then we also have Mr. John Mills, and then Samuel Mills, and then Mr. John Sterling. Samuel Mills is the brother of the late President John Mills, and then John Sterling is for PPP.
Is the in-law?
In-law, brother-in-law of Dr. Papa Kwesindo.
Your enemies are many.
They are not my enemies, they are my contenders. And, I've made all three of them aware that they are not my enemies. We are not fighting for the seat. We are just contesting so that the best of us should go to Parliament and come and better the lot of the people of KEA. Yeah.
I see.
Are you worried that you're the only woman amongst the men?
I'm not. I rather see it as an advantage because, funnily enough, this impression has been created that that seat, Commander Edna Iguafu Abrem seat, is for doctors. It's for people with PhDs. Also, since the 1992 Constitution came into force, no woman has been to Parliament from that constituency for 24 years. Last 4 years, a lady contested the seat on the ticket of PPP, but lost. And I feel that this is the time for a woman to take that seat from KEEA.
I'm with you on this. I've been getting premonitions and prophecies since last week. You had a prophecy about this? But on a more serious note, you take a look at the constituency, Commander Edna Iguafu Abrem, and especially when you were from Elmina and you get to now the areas, Abrem, Agona, and...
those are the traditional heads.
Yes, I know. And you get to see that those are farming communities as well. And the women and the children and the vulnerable minorities or inhabitants, they have needs. What have you identified and you think needs to be addressed?
Honestly, education. For me, I believe that education is the key. If you are a farmer, I say that if I'm a trader, it doesn't necessarily mean my children must be traders too. If they have to be traders, then they shouldn't be petty traders that I am. They should be traders in a better way. So these farmers are doing their best, but they end up having their children not getting to the level that they want to get to. I went to Bremen for a debate, and a young girl walked up to me. I saw the way she was smiling and trying to get closer. I realized she was kind of hesitant. So I just called her, "Come, do you want to talk to me?" She said, "Yes." I said, "So what's your name?" She said, "Gifty." I said, "Okay. So do you go to school?" She said, "Area school. I've completed school." Then I said, "At your age, area school?" She smiled and said, "No, area JHS." Then I said, "No, you haven't completed school. You have just paused. You just finished with your BEC. You are going to continue." But most of these girls, most of these young men are at home. They don't continue because their mothers and their fathers are not empowered. Those who are farming don't even have the implement and the capital to invest in their farming. This is what I dream. My aim is for economic accountability as a parliamentarian, social development, and moral advancement. When I talk about the economic accountability, people feel it's too big an issue. You send me to Parliament to lobby, to make the laws and lobby for things for your constituency. I'm working with the MCE. How come at the end of my tenure, you don't get me to account to the constituents how I spent their resources, how I use the resources? I feel that we should make our members of parliament account to the constituents at the end of their tenure. If you build facilities like market sheds for the people, why not? What went into it? How much did it cost? How much of their money is left unused? And whoever comes to take over from you, how is that person going to manage the remaining resources? Honestly, I believe that the MPs, when they are going out of office, when we are asking for our ex gratia and all that, we should also ask for auditing. People should audit us. We should get our accounts and everything we've done audited. And if we are doing that, our people's lives will improve. And honestly, that is my main aim. The social advancement thing that I talk about, you see, if people walk with their shoulders high, as a member of parliament, I'll feel proud that my constituents are also somebody's. Why would I be so enlightened and my people are always down there? Must everyone always raise their heads to look to my face? No. There should be a time when, if not all of us will be at par, a majority of us will be at par, so that we can help those down there to also rise to our level. People are giving money to people to influence them to vote. I ask you, if you had it to give it to me, why didn't you give it to me from the beginning? But you wait till election time to come and give me cutlasses to go and win. I say it's an insult, and morally, it is not right.
Now, these messages that you're espousing here, does it resonate with the people?
It does. Surprisingly, people were waiting for someone who would tell them the truth and wouldn't be afraid of telling them the truth. When I go out there, people ask me for T-shirts, and I tell them, well, unfortunately, I am not giving out T-shirts. T-shirts are very expensive, and if I print one T-shirt, I can print more than 5 exercise books. And I know a lot of the children in my constituency, yes, they don't vote, but their parents do. And it's the parents who struggle to buy these exercise books. So I give them exercise books. I want them to be knowledgeable so that in future, if anybody comes to them and tells them lies from the Constitution, that I'll build your roads for you if you vote for me, that I'll build schools for you if you vote for me, they will be able to read and understand that it's not the MP's duty and responsibility to build roads.
So you don't print T-shirts? You
No.
haven't given T-shirts out? You're rather giving
We are giving
books
out exercise books. You know, I'm a teacher. So when I started my campaign, as soon as I announced it, someone told a group of students that I've taught, and they printed 100 T-shirts as support for my campaign. When they brought them, I said, thank you, but that's not my plan. I am not planning to use T-shirts. So I would rather you gathered exercise books for me, because that's what I'm taking out there.
Okay.
And so when I go on my tour, I do not give people T-shirts.
All right.
I
You
give them
learning
exercise
material.
books. And you know, one exercise book doesn't cost even up to 2 cedis. But if you give one person exercise, I did a test. I got my researchers to do a research. The scarf I'm wearing now was brought to me from the headquarters. Because
Of the
women,
CPP?
Yes. The women love scarves. I love scarves. I love to put on scarves even when I'm teaching. And then we got to a place and I said, if you take a scarf, you don't get an exercise book. If you get an exercise book, you don't get a scarf. And about 50% of the people there said, give me an exercise book. I have scarves at home.
Okay.
And I gave them exercise books. It tells that
But
they are ready.
ultimately, we've known in the past, in past elections, in which good candidates, very knowledgeable candidates, very well-meaning candidates have had messages like you, but on the day of voting, they just don't get the nod. And I feel you'll be a very good parliamentarian. How about that?
It's very true. You see, a lot of people are partisan. So our politics has become kind of partisan, and mostly we don't look at the issues. I'm the only female candidate. That's one I've said is an advantage. And I also am selling the message that, yes, you may have a party, but if you have a party and the candidate will not go there and speak for you, why would you want to let that person go? Rather than have your candidates go there and not speak for you, let someone who is not your party member go. I've made my constituents aware that yes, I'm standing for CPP. But remember that once you are voted, you are no longer for your party. You are for the constituency. Whether NDC, NPP, PPP, people who are non-partisan, you are for the constituency. So I told my constituents that if I go to Parliament today and NDC comes and says, well, Rose, we think you are very strong, you are a good woman, and we want to give you a ministerial appointment, I'll take it. If NPP is in power and they come to me and they want to give me a ministerial appointment, I'll take it. Any party that is in power and is ready to work with me, I'm ready to work with.
Because you're working for the people.
For the people.
For
it is non-partisan.
Do they understand the issues that you seem to, or your line of argument?
They do. They do. When I go conversing with them, when I go on my tour, they do understand me. And I think the constituents are hungry to have a woman for once. For 24 years, if you had a daughter, she would have given you a granddaughter. Yes. And men are going, and we don't have our granddaughters. Let's talk about that for a while.
You know how some women also complain that it's very difficult when you're contesting with men. But you say, interestingly, that the people are hungry for a woman. How are they supporting you then on the ground?
When I go out there, they take the message from me and they spread the message. They assure me, yes, we have our party. But this skirt and blouse thing, that has become a national issue. It started from KEA with Dr. Papa Kwesindo, when MPP supported him and he said people should vote skirt and blouse. He was with CPP, but he said vote for NPP and vote me, CPP, skirt. So it started from there. And I'm letting people understand that that skirt and blouse thing is working. So if you feel strongly for your party, be it any of the other parties, no problem.
So it means you're appealing to their conscience?
I'm appealing to their conscience.
So you can vote for your presidential.
Is it working?
But parliamentary, definitely vote for me.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. That I appeal to them to vote the CPP. But definitely there are some die-hard party members, and then you cannot, I mean, if you are not careful, you lose both votes. So, okay, go ahead. I wouldn't be greedy. You give it to your presidential. But when it comes to the parliamentary, give it to me.
Are they willing to?
They are.
I guess we have to just hang in there and see when the results
start
trickling.
That's it, because you know, the things they say are not always what reflects on the ballot paper.
You seem to be very much confident. I find it very intriguing.
Yes, I am confident because I see that I'm telling my people the truth of the matter. You know, it's very difficult to speak the truth. People like to be petted and all that. Sometimes when I go to some places, they make demands of things from me. We want you to come and build a market shed for us, come and construct our road so we vote for you. And I tell them, well, that will be a contract I'm signing with you. But the contract should be post-election contract, not pre-election contract. Tell me you are sending me there so I go and lobby for things for you. But don't tell me I should come and do this. If I do it for you, I have bribed you, and I'm not ready to bribe anyone.
You tell them that?
I tell them that. I have videos of my discussions, even with chiefs. I've gone to some palaces where chiefs claim people come and tell them things. They go and they don't come back until after 4 years. They come back and they are solicited for votes. And I tell them that, yes, when they come, you make demands. You tell them to build toilet facilities and all that. They do that for you, and they go away and never come back because they've given you what you asked for.
And they have to recover
and Yeah, I mean, you ask me to give you 5 cedis, so you give me your vote. And I've given you the 5 cedis. It's a contract. It ends there. And this is what I'm telling. They are the hard facts.
So you're promising servitude. You want to serve your people.
I just want to serve my people. That's what I'm passionate about.
Do you still teach?
Yes, I do. I still teach. And I take some casual leave here and there as and when I need to move. And so my campaign has been in the evenings. And you know, fortunately for me, my constituents are night people. They go to the farms. So if you go out during the day,
you won't meet anybody.
You won't meet anyone.
Okay.
So you can only get them from 4 p.m., sometimes 6 p.m. So we go out there from 4 p.m. till sometimes about 9:30.
Do they see your face? Or you have lights?
Yes, we use lights. But some of the communities, so the strategy is that those that don't have light, we go there from 4. By 6, we start moving to where there is electricity.
Okay.
That's
what class do you
doing.
teach, by the way?
I've been teaching the junior high school for 19 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And now, this year, I've added class 5.
Okay.
Because we have a new school, and I'm the only teacher of English at the upper level. So I added the class 5 because we have only one stream.
Okay.
So I teach class 5.
So do the pupils know what Madam is doing on the side?
I tried to cover up, but you know our children, they see my car, the smaller one, and they are like, that's Madam's photo there. And then the bigger car sometimes comes there to pick me, and they are like, no, that's Miss Austin. That is Mrs. Tinedu. You know, they're confused by baby name and the surname. And first I was telling them, no, that's my twin sister. But eventually they got to know.
Okay.
And surprisingly, some of them are campaigning.
For
and
you?
I told them, no, you don't have to do that. They said, no, I have to tell my parents that this is a good teacher. So vote for her. Then I asked them, so if I go to Parliament, you will miss me. Then they said, no, but if you go and you remember us, you come and visit us, you know.
That's
so,
nice.
Yeah.
But I see that your husband is also very supportive of what you do. Did he push you into this?
He is wonderful. He didn't push me into it. He encouraged me. When the offer came and we were talking about it, he said, why not? As an individual, you are doing so much. So why don't you get the backing of the state? I have an NGO and we take care of young people. Our aim is to get more people, especially young people, to be assertive and develop positive self-image.
Okay.
And that is our aim. So however we go about it, we want to get there. And he has been very supportive. He drives me.
I know he drove you here.
he does. He does drive me everywhere I want to go to, except when he's busy. He's a lecturer, and so when he has lectures,
when the schedules tend to.
Yes, he cannot drive me, and
good.
I have to drive myself, and it gets so stressful. And yesterday I was telling the driver there is another car and there is a driver for that one. When I went for the car, I said, Madam, you take it to work. I don't need it today. And I said, no, drive me. I said, no, don't worry. And I said, you know what, let me tell you the truth today. If I drive, I feel so clumsy. So please drive me. I'm getting used to being driven, yes.
And especially when you're contesting with those that you're contesting with.
Yes.
They're from the PPP, the NDC, and then the NPP. And we know that you as a woman, and even your party, you may not have the resources. How are you addressing the challenge of resources?
A big challenge. The resources are not there. I don't even have a pickup that is robust enough to take me through the villages and the towns of KEA. And you know, KEA is very huge. It starts from the end of Cape Coast to the beginning of Western Region, Takrady. I'm using my private cars. Even fuel. Sometimes I have to get to the flag bearer himself to give me something small for fuel. But this is what I am doing. I'm a very resourceful person. My being here is as a result of my being a teacher, and probably a good one. Because if I didn't do well, I don't think And I would take permission to mention this. Michaela Anderson wouldn't have invited me. She was my JHS student way back in those years, I think 2099, 2000, I guess.
Okay.
I say.
Yes.
You know, she didn't tell us that bit. She sat in your class.
She was in GSS
she did
2000.
sit in my class, and I guess she was one of my favorite students. She was very intelligent, and we went to some trainings together.
It's okay. Enough
Yeah.
of Carol.
No,
That's
that's fine. She's a first class
Yes.
student, so don't
Oh,
worry.
yeah,
We
she
know.
is.
Yeah.
Oh,
she
wow.
Is. She is. But there's a
So-
third leg. No, you can finish that.
Okay, so the finances, this is what I do. I have envelopes that I give out to people.
So you give us envelopes?
Of course I will. I told Roland that I'll give him an envelope, and I'll give you one too. But
Okay.
even if I don't give you an envelope, I know you either give me some packs of exercise books or
Okay, so
some
some way
cash.
of contributing.
some way of contributing.
Before we wrap up on this, there was a third leg of your messages, which is moral. It has to do. I wonder how you do that.
Yes, you know, teenage pregnancy is on the ascendancy in my constituency. On Sunday, we are doing the Commander Goes Green. And green for me is virginity. We can attain secondary virginity. Even if you've lost it already and you've given birth, let's come back and be green. Let's come back and let our people know that we are ready to stop teenage pregnancy. So the moral part is that, yes, it's difficult. Some people even getting what they will eat is difficult. But morally, it is wrong for you to take things from people to do them favors. So if I come and I'm giving you money, I'm giving you stuff to influence you, please, morally it's wrong.
Okay.
And that's the moral bit that I'm talking about.
All right. There's
Yes.
something else that we want to do. Michaela will be in your constituency to monitor how the campaign is going very soon.
Oh, thank you.
But we're grateful
Thank
for your
you.
time.
We're grateful for your
We're
time.
really grateful for your time. It's been interesting talking to you.
Yes,
it
and
has
I'm
been.
also so grateful to you for giving me this opportunity. Not all of us get this opportunity. I'm grateful.
We
And are
wish you
doing very
well. We wish you well.
Thank you.
Fight a good fight and be in Parliament.
Thank you. I sure will be.
That's Mrs. Rose Austin Tinudu. She's standing for the Commander Edina Eguafo Abrem constituency in the Central Region. And we want to say thank you to her husband who brought her here. So, Mr. Tinudu, good morning and thank you. I know that you're watching. Stay with us. We've still got more to come here on the show. We're talking to the Christian Council. They are missing. They are lost in the party's manifestos. But what's their business, really? Stay with us.